Welcome back to Geekshow Helpdesk.
I have a quick question. Did you
We
press the
haven't
record
even
button?
started yet.
Did you press the record button, Tony?
Of course
press
I
the record.
did.
Okay.
He did.
Okay.
I
Because
checked
you didn't
this
last
today.
week.
I learned my lessons, and it usually lasts a couple years before I do it again.
Perfect. Okay,
It's
making sure.
hard. It's hard.
I'm
It's
here.
hard to get rid of that stigma now, though. You know.
Oh yeah, you know,
have
it doesn't
to-
matter how much good you do. One mess up, and all of a sudden you're that guy.
You wear
You're that-
one blue shirt that says "Be hungry," and it's you forever,
That's right.
immortalized across the everywhere.
Yep.
I think it's time to repost that picture too.
I don't think it is. I don't think that.
Yeah,
is
we got to
what
put it
is.
in our Discord channel.
Oh,
Why don't you
that's the
It's
worst.
happening right
Set
now.
a-
Yep.
Just set a bot to post
I
it
did that
weekly,
myself.
once a week.
Where'd the
and
picture
just-
go?
It's easy.
Good. Gone forever. I hope. Right, Jared?
Nope, I have
Dang
it.
it.
I know
You know-
exactly how to find it.
Yeah, this is a Geek Show Help Desk where we talk about tech, gadgets, and science-related things.
Don't
And
forget about
Jared
Owen's
is back.
Be Hungry shirt.
I know you guys missed me so much. But
I
I'm
missed
back.
you, Jared.
Let's kick it off by introducing our panelists. If this is your first time listening, we'll start with Jaron. He finally decided to show up, be part of the show for the first time in 6 weeks or something.
Yep. I've been out for 10 weeks, and I'm here.
Ta-da!
My name is Jared.
wait.
Oh, no, I got something to say. I am officially, exclusively on Blue Sky.
You and 770,000 other people, or whatever.
700,000 other people.
It's a
700,000.
million now, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
So
I hope this is it.
Yeah, my favorite Digital Foundry guys, they're over on Blue Sky now.
They did it.
and,
You got all your content. It just
Wario-
took that to get your content creators over there.
Wario 64 is on Blue Sky. He wasn't before, but he is now
I'm
posting,
surprised.
which is great.
I'm surprised
Hello.
that people like Wario have gone over because they get no advertising money. There's no revenue share with Blue Sky.
Well, he still has his affiliate links and stuff.
And they're pushing it to the
affiliate
But,
and it drives people to their YouTubes.
You can find me at Jeronius at bluesky.social, JARRONES.
There
we
you
go.
go. Hey, look, he's got a potato chip. It's probably greasier than you should be eating. It's Owen.
Tortilla. It's a baked tortilla chip, Tony.
Ah,
Which
touche.
means that it's
Touche.
I made up the
There's
baked.
no grease. No grease
I
involved,
made up,
Tony.
I made up the baked part because I knew it would make me win, but it's just a
Tony,
regular tortilla chip.
are you his mom?
No,
He's my health conscious person that wants me to be alive, Jared.
I don't want
Exactly.
you to die either, Owen.
I want him
Please-
to
please
be
stop
around.
eating that.
He needs to be around at least long enough to go to CES with us in January.
Right? I got. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, we got tickets.
Follow
We're
me
going.
Don't follow me on the X anymore. Follow me here. I think with Jared, I'm going to fully migrate to lurking over on Blue Sky, which means I will never be on there unless somebody directly ats me. But I did change my gamer tag
You
this
did?
weekend. I changed it.
What is it now?
I changed it.
What?
I
Matching
changed
shin?
it. Matching shin. And I knew that I was going to lose the gamer tag with no number. Right?
Yeah.
If you got the OG, you don't get to change that. But so I did change it to matching shin 80. And I changed my icon to the black wind.
Nice.
So I'm
There you
uniform
go.
now across Discord. Same Discord icon. There you go.
I'll probably change my name again on Xbox.
Do you care about the numbers?
Nah. Meh.
It bugs me, but not enough.
Meh.
Yeah.
I care about the numbers a whole lot. I don't like them at all.
I wish they would institute a you get the fancy vanity name, but then the back end has the numbers. You know?
That's how
Like
Discord is, I think.
Yeah, that's how Discord
Yeah.
did it. You get the name, and then if they look into your account, it's actually with the numbers. And that would have been a way better way to give people what they wanted, but also let them be unique if somebody was actually trying to find them. But they did not.
I bet you give it time and they'll probably roll that out.
It's been years, Tony. A lot of years, Tony.
Yeah, but it took until recently for them to actually make the name changing easy and effective, blah, blah, blah. So,
Leave it to Owen to have a 20-minute intro.
You're welcome, Jaron. Driving the show. Driving the you know what? You want... Okay.
Snap him out of it, Tony.
hey, Lando, how fast can your intro be?
I'm Lando.
Next.
All right. And we got our Reno area guy.
Keep going. This is good.
Consultant. It's Squinky.
Hi there, Squinky here. And we have a host. His name's Tony.
Nicely done. Check me out on Twitter at QuadTTony or on other Geek Show podcasts. Okay, let's see. Before we get started, do we have any of them emails?
Indeed we do. Email. Got an email from Jason. He says, "Hey geeks, I started listening to you guys when you switched over to Geekshow and love the format of both shows.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you. I feel like I have known Tony for years. Oh, sorry guys. As I have been listening to Geekshow podcast for what seems like
Lucky you.
forever. Anywho, the main reason I wanted to write in was that I have a couple of questions. One, I used to have an Apple Watch, but got rid of it a while back as it was old and just didn't work well. Now I am wanting a new smartwatch, but looking for something comparable to the Apple, but more affordable. Any suggestions? Main goals, measuring sleep and walking distance/steps. Oh, and knowing the time too every now and then. So he goes on, but let's answer his first question. My vote is the Fitbit Charge 6.
Yeah, I was going to say Fitbit.
$100 at Amazon right now. It will track your sleep, track your steps, and it looks more like a Fitbit than a watch. It's kind of got a long vertical screen, but
It'll
may
give
not
you
be
the
a bad
time.
thing. Yeah. Any other recommendations here?
Why the Samsung watch or the Pixel watch? You guys not fans
Well,
of those?
He
Well,
said
they're
more affordable.
They're more expensive.
Oh, they are more expensive.
Yeah.
But also, he didn't say what phone he has. So if he's got an iPhone, the Samsung watch with an iPhone is okay.
I assume-
I did it for a while. It was all right.
I can't imagine getting a smartwatch that's not Apple if you have an iPhone.
Exactly. That's the
The,
thing.
the
Fitbit or
integration between
Fitbit,
the two.
You know,
So
you're
I'm
gonna
going
get.
to assume that they have an Android, that they had to switch to Android. There you
I
go.
doubt it.
Nope. I'm assuming that. That's basically right when I do that.
Would you
Yeah,
like
okay.
to pontificate on this, Owen?
Nope. I'll just get the burnt noise again. So I'm not going to do that. See? There it is.
Going back to the email. Number 2, I am looking to get rid of my old Xbox One console, games, and controllers, as well as an Apple MacBook that I no longer use. Both work fine, but just not needed. Best suggestion for selling it aside from eBay? eBay's fine, but any other options you recommend? I did a quick
Facebook
Google
Marketplace.
search and came across blackmarket.com. Ever dealt with them? I have not.
No,
So
I do this on occasion.
Yep.
If you want a smartwatch, go take your Apple. If your MacBook's worth anything, you can take it in and they'll do a trade-in. If it's not, don't worry about that. But the other place I sell used MacBooks for is it's called It's Worth More.
Used it. It's
.com.
great.
I think you can sell multiple products there too, not just
Well, you're not even really
MacBooks,
selling
but-
them. You're basically just
they buy them from you.
they just
buy,
the website just buys it from you.
Yeah.
You can get it in the form
Yep.
of an Amazon gift
It's-
card or a debit card. You know,
you're
cash
losing
or whatever.
you're losing 15%, but you're not having to worry about all the stress of having to worry about dealing with somebody on Facebook Marketplace,
And
lowballing you.
eBay, they
is
take
a-
close to 15%.
Exactly.
15.
And
then you
that's
still have to
value
pay-
right there.
And then
Yep.
you still have to pay for shipping, and
Yep.
plus you get everybody. I've sold them on eBay. They haggle you. It's worth more. It's just I assume it's a lot like black market where it's just they buy it from you. It's good to go. I like
Ease
it's
of
worth
use.
more because they can they'll Venmo you directly. They have PayPal direct. They've got a bunch of different options. So
I like this is great, Tony.
I
This
don't
is
I don't know that was warranted, but I'll allow it.
I like Lando's suggestion, Facebook Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace is a
it's
good option.
it's great because you don't have to pay shipping fees or any fees
just-
to eBay or anything like that.
'Cause it's
make
just
sure you
local,
sell-
right?
Yeah, just make sure you choose to sell it local.
It
Yeah.
can be a pain though. You have to deal with a lot of weirdos.
Get
and
people
stuff.
coming in that are like, but it's I'm trying to go to school and
You could
just
potentially
take
make more
$1?
money from Facebook Marketplace.
Yes.
There's just more legwork involved.
More human interaction is what you call that, Tony, and it's awful and worth the cost of doing it through It's Worth More.
I agree.
Unless you're Jaron. Jaron loves the art of the deal there. The
Me too.
steal, the haggle.
Oh, I love the haggle.
You're a gadget
I hate it.
haggler. Look at him just trying to deny it in his head.
You know, if I could start a
can't.
business where I could go help people buy cars, I would. Like, just I'll
But
be
you
your
have
consultant.
you have a unique perspective though, as your
Is
dad
that
has.
a car salesman?
No, I would be the guy that would be the champion for the buyer, not the seller. So
Like-
I'd
so
go
like
with
a
people to
real
buy
estate
cars
agent
and haggle on their
a
behalf.
car estate. You're a car estate dealer, like a real estate agent, but for cars.
Car estate dealer. I like
Car
that.
estate dealer. There you go.
I should get the domain. Carastater.com.
Auto
Boom.
estate.
Auto something. I'll figure it out.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Somebody just
keep noodling on that while I finish this email. Finally, my shameless plug to include, if you want, but don't have to. Oh, I'm including it. Just wanted to give you a little me history. I work as the design manager, graphic and web design, for a Tampa Bay-based IT company called Xbyte Technologies. We are a Dell partner that sells Dell certified servers, networking, storage, and new genuine Dell parts. So a lot of your news is really informative for me. Thanks. Also, as a Florida resident, please don't hold that against me. I love all things space, so please keep up the great space news. Ever in
can
Central
do.
Florida for Disney, I'm a pass holder and go almost monthly, or our beautiful beaches in the Bay Area, send me a message. Would love to meet you guys. Take care.
I love
Jason.
Florida. I went on vacation to Florida last year. We flew to Miami, went down to the Keys to Key West.
I
visited a
did
bunch of
that
national
in
parks. It was pretty-
2019.
It was
was
pretty
great.
sweet. I really enjoyed that trip.
We went to Disney World, and the most exciting part, kids love Disney World, but it was at night at the hotel. Geckos run all over the ceiling. Just tell you, my kids were,
Are they supposed to?
yeah, they're just
Oh yeah, in a
there.
climate like Florida for sure.
There's iguanas everywhere
They,
and stuff. Yeah.
The geckos are great for keeping the bugs down in the house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I had geckos all over in Honduras when I lived there. In every house I had.
How cute.
Interesting.
It was great. Thanks for
Did you ever
writing in.
smash one? Like step on one?
No. Why would I do that to a gecko?
On accident.
But an
You were
accident,
saying-
monster?
Tony.
Yeah,
No,
on
they're,
accident.
nah. They stay
They're
on the
pretty
walls
quick.
of the ceiling. They don't
Yeah,
really get on the
I
floor
had-
too much.
Interesting.
When I said my kids were really excited, I really meant me, because I was the one jumping up to the 8-foot ceiling and swiping them down. So
That's awesome.
anyway,
Cool. Well, there you go. Thanks for writing in.
Thank you.
Who's making that microphone noise?
Probably me.
I think it
okay.
was.
Not
Was
me.
it
Proceed.
this? Was it this?
That would be the
Don't do
noise.
that. Don't do that.
That'd be me.
Bad squeaky.
If it were Lando or Owen, I would have told you off, but I can't tell you off, so go ahead.
You could. You've known me long enough. You can say pretty much whatever you would like.
yeah,
I
man.
can't.
Yeah, screw you, Jaron. I'm sorry, I can't do that.
There we go.
Redirected.
Press the
last
button.
episode.
Press the button, Tony.
Quite the pause right there before the qualification. All right. Any more emails?
Nope.
Cool. If you do feel like you want to email us, drop us a line at geekshowhelpdesk@gmail.com. It's as simple as that. geekshowhelpdesk@gmail.com.
We don't even gatekeep it behind the donut wall. It's free.
That's right. Let's see. Do we have any space news for this week? Oh, yeah, we do actually. It's mine. I just remembered. We finally have a reason why the Arecibo Observatory in Costa Rica collapsed. The giant
How
radio
sad.
telescope that GoldenEye was filmed on, as well as all the actual cool science stuff it did. What happened apparently after 4 years of research and poking around in the rubble, etc., is a problem called zinc. Where'd the word go? Not oxide, but oxidation. Hold on. Gosh dang it. There's a problem with the zinc.
If we had the soundboard, we would have hit that button
read
right now for you.
I
Yeah.
read this because it
go.
happened because the
Zinc
it-
decay. There's the
zinc
word I'm
decay
looking for.
because it got stressed to its max during
Nope.
the hurricane, right?
Nope. That is incorrect.
Nice.
The report deals as the structural failure of the telescope likely began 2017 when the Hurricane Maria hit the observatory, which subjected the Okay. It just-
If
you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that just when you're wrong, Tony.
If you read further on, Owen, it says that it was discovered that hurricane actually did not contribute at all to the failure of the
Past the
cables.
third paragraph, Owen.
No, Jaron, you can't make me do that. That's actually the 5th paragraph. 6th.
Because yeah, there was hurricane and it was bad, 105 to 118 mile per hour winds. It was Hurricane Maria, and it was the highest structural stress it had ever endured since it opened in 1963. So it was kind of old to begin with. Now those repairs were delayed for years, and everyone thought, oh, that's why. But the investigation states that the repairs were targeted toward components and replacement of a main cable that ultimately never failed. The stuff that they were going to fix from the hurricane wouldn't have made any difference because the issue is the zinc decay on the connector devices that hold the cables onto the foundations. And it basically just degraded to the point where it snapped.
Zinc creep.
So is that
Zinc creep.
so is that
the-
like you
is
have
the
two
name.
different metals put together and you get that?
Yeah. So they didn't
There's
say
a word I can't think of right now.
not oxidation, but I know
No.
what you're talking about. I can't think of the word either, but yeah, they didn't say
And-
it was specifically had anything to do with the types of metals used, but just that for whatever reason that they haven't decided quite yet, the zinc in those fasteners just decayed much more rapidly than they had ever planned that it would. And so as a result, the connector broke. And after the first one broke, they were going to fix it. And then a second one broke, and they said, okay, we're just going to decommission it. And before they could even get to the decommissioning, another one broke.
And then it collapsed.
The whole
Yeah,
thing.
thanks for playing. Have a nice afternoon.
Yeah, the whole
Do they
thing
have pictures
collapsed
of the?
into it.
Does it look like Jurassic Park right now? Like,
It kind of does.
like
yeah.
is it? Do they have do they have new pictures? I bet the jungle is just.
So you look at the
completely-
you look at the picture that they have posted on the website for what's this on space.com, and yeah, it looks like, give it a little more time and it will just start to like decayed
Like-
Jurassic Park, like in the
Every
fourth one.
post-apocalyptic show, Mm-hmm. That's pretty crazy. I've always imagined what it would actually be like to see a city taken over by the nature again.
Yeah. So there you go. Bad zinc was what
Zinc-
caused that.
Zinc creep, zinc decay, and they were loops. And they missed it. You're right, Tony. I knew you were. I didn't need the beeps to know that. I was just ragging on you. The loops were missed in the post Maria inspection.
Yep.
Of course you knew that, Owen. Didn't
knew
doubt
that.
you for a second.
I had to
No.
read the 12th paragraph for that, which I think everybody knows is far beyond my scope.
I would say chances are very good that Maria
It didn't help though.
Didn't help, exactly. Like, I'm sure that placed extra stress on the zinc decayed parts, but they would have failed anyway. So
Zinc, good for colds, bad for giant radio telescopes.
that's right. Bad for
So,
radio
so the word we were
telescopes.
looking for, Tony, is galvanic corrosion.
Galvanized, yes, galvanic corrosion.
It's a
Yep.
$5 word.
That's
I
something
know,
that
right?
if you liquid cool PCs with custom PC loops, you got to make sure that you only use metals that will not have that galvanic corrosion, because sometimes you
Like a
see-
transfer of ions, right? Like when they
Basically,
how they-
yeah, and it
it's how they
makes
do
stuff-
sacrificial. It's how they do sacrificial plates for ships to keep rust off, right?
Yeah, it ends up decaying the metal, and that ends up contaminating the loop and plugging all your little pores, your little channels that the water flows through, and then you're screwed.
The extent of Tony's knowledge, if it applies to PC somehow, he knows it. If not, no. It's,
I love PCs. I'm building one right now. It is very exciting.
I'm
yeah,
so
me
excited
too.
to
Let's
see
talk about it.
it. Are you getting a new case, Tony? Or are you keeping
no,
the
I'm
case?
building in the same case. Okay, let's talk about this for just a little bit. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
on the notes,
So,
but
I-
it came up. It came up naturally, and
I had
here
the
we are.
idea
Did it,
of
though? It
building a
felt a
new
little
PC,
forced.
and Tony's like, "I gotta
he
copy
copied
you,
you?
Jaron. I gotta
Tony's
copy
always,
you."
Tony's
This
always
is-
copying you, Jerry.
I know.
This is
He
exactly
chose
the
my
opposite
exact
of how
same
it happened.
motherboard, exact same RAM,
You want?
How dare he?
exact same
Did he choose-
CPU.
So he
I
chose
will
the same
post-
one you
Blasphemy.
recommended to him, Jaron?
I
He
will-
chose the motherboard that you recommended he buy.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He admitted
Why are you
in
mad
the
about that?
conversation. I will
Tony.
post the conversation where he admitted that he did zero research. and
Tony's
just
opening
bought
up his
what I
purse.
bought.
Tony's opening up his purse to get out the receipts.
That's right. I got the
Let's start-
receipts.
Hey, you copied me on the CPU though.
I did, because
Yes.
I was
What it-
going to wait for the 16-core X3D, but man, once I saw how the 9800 X3D is performing in the reviews the last couple weeks,
Oh, we're supposed to talk that in arcade.
there's no point. There's no point in waiting.
Preview for Geekshow Arcade.
Yeah,
It just
so
means
we'll-
you'll
We're
buy
doing this
it.
again?
It just means you'll
That's
buy
endure
another
this
one.
misery twice?
Oh, you betcha, Lando, and you're gonna like it.
You know, Tony. It just means you have to buy
I
again
believe "get to" is the correct
when the
phrase.
9800, 99, whatever X3D comes out.
The only way I will do that is
If it comes out and it's better. That's all you have to say.
It needs to be double digits better than the 9800X 3D, and it will not be.
Right.
Because
Sorry, I
It
have to
would
tell-
not be in gaming.
For
Yeah, not
Jaren,
in gaming. In
Jaren
gaming
will get it.
specifically.
Jaren, sorry, I was talking the wrong one. Jaren will get it just because more figures go faster.
If I got it, it would force Tony's hand. He would have to get it.
Why?
seen it. We've
he doesn't
seen
have
it.
to do anything.
No,
You know what?
No, he does. We've seen it
you probably
time and again.
You're probably right.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
All right, let's move along
we're done.
to
Amazing.
well, we're going to talk about it more in arcade. The PCs we're building, the gaming PCs, because we're really excited. They're going to be great. AI voice generation. You can't have an episode without talking about some AI. So here we go.
Oh man, I almost brought a whole bunch of other news too. Like, I feel like there's been a ton of AI news lately, and a lot of it's been on the negative. This is not negative stuff, but just I saw AI powering a robot dog, and then I immediately saw an article about how we should be really careful about letting AI control robots. Interesting stuff.
Have you read any science fiction book or watched any science fiction movie? I mean, this is yeah.
Heinlein 101.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So Tony, I think you can play audio from this page. Is that true?
Yes, I should be able to. Give me
Are
just
you
a
ready?
sec. Talk for 30 seconds and I'll be ready.
So this is an interesting thing. This is actually an article from Google. And like we saw a few weeks ago that James brought in AI creations of us and our voices.
Yep.
But those were
was I on
created
there?
and trained off of our show.
Yeah,
so
you said some pretty horrible stuff.
What show is this? I got to listen to it.
really bad. Were you not here, Jared? You said some terrible things. But
Can't be worse than what I've said.
so
in real life.
James asked Tony. He said, "Hey Tony, can I get some copies of the audio files for the podcast for the past 3 months or whatever?" And then James used our voices to train the AI and was able to create a pretty okay-ish, scarily okay actually, recreation of our voices
yeah.
and our talking.
I was going to
this-
say, too, that Jaren's AI actually said nicer things than he does in real life, so it was probably a good thing.
I think that's what was terrifying about it, Tony.
That might be what it is.
It
yeah.
upset the entire balance of my universe.
Uncanny Valley, Jaron.
Yeah, it was super bizarre. I was like, I know
weird.
that's a body snatcher right there.
So what
right,
makes this is a little different. This is Google DeepMind, and what makes this a little different is it trains on human voices, but it creates entirely new voices. So like what you're about to hear, Tony's going to play for us, is created from scratch. It's not
Which
been
one?
trained on any humans. Play this the
Which one
first
do you
one.
play? Audio sample of 2 speakers demonstrating surprise and disbelief.
Yeah, that one's fine.
Okay.
Hey, did you hear about the Google DeepMind speech generation work?
Oh, no, I must have missed it. What's it about?
Well, through recent advancements, the team has been able to generate natural, high-quality dialogues.
Oh,
Like
interesting.
really efficiently.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, even this one was generated.
Oh yeah, sure.
I
Well,
heard
hang on, you're
this.
joking, right?
Wow.
This is bananas.
Pretty
That's
crazy.
Not vocal tics.
Okay,
Like
tell me that's not directly from Radiolab. Like that sounds like the Radiolab podcast, right?
right. Like,
That is
I
wild.
listened to this. I went, we're freaking screwed. Because like you could use this. I guarantee to make a full podcast
so many
episode
people.
and fool like.
Tons.
If you would have played this, I should have had you play this, Tony, with no context. And like, but yeah, it's just 2 people talking, right? But no,
which one,
it's
which
not.
One
It's
do you
Google
want to hear
DeepMind.
next?
That one, I think that one was the best one. Try the one right below it, the 2 speakers telling a funny story.
Something really funny happened to me this morning.
Oh, wow. What?
Well, I woke up as usual,
Uh-huh.
went downstairs to have breakfast, started eating. Then 10 minutes later, I realized it was the middle of the night.
Oh, no way. That's so funny.
I feel like I'm listening to NPR.
Yeah, yeah.
Voices generated from nothing. That's where we
freaking
are
me
with
out.
AI.
I mean, this is Google's website. So, do you think those are doctored or cleaned up? Like, how? I mean, they're advertising for themselves right here.
Oh, yeah.
How can we trust these clips? Have we played with it? Has anybody else been able to duplicate
I don't think it's
these
available
results?
to play with it yet. This is a couple weeks old story, so I'm
Because it's
still
terrifying.
remembering it.
It's terrifying as is.
Yeah,
but if
it's
but if
still-
regular people could do this already, I feel like
I think
nothing
it's-
is real anymore.
I think it's legit because there's still a little bit of like I can tell it's not 2 real people.
Yeah.
It's
Barely,
I
though.
think
So,
it's.
like,
I think
that
it's
first
90.
one-
I think it's 95% of the way there, honestly. But
At
there's
what
still
point
just
does
a
the human
little
mind
bit.
forgive that uncanny valley, though? It's got to be close to that percentage.
I
Like,
guarantee that if you listened to this, if they had an extended cut of this that lasted 20 minutes,
you catch
by
more
the end of
flubs.
it, you wouldn't even notice. Your brain
Yeah.
will have interpreted it how it
As
would
ticks,
anything,
right?
you
Yeah,
know, yeah,
as-
and you'd be all on board. I think.
'Cause that
Guarantee it
first
would.
one-
Guarantee it would fool most of the population.
I was gonna say,
yeah, for
I was gonna
sure.
say, at what? So there's two things going on. At what point do people that look for these type of things are they fooled past the uncanny valley? And what point are the general population fooled past that? And I think the threshold's a lot lower for the general population.
Well,
yeah.
and part
Like
of what,
my mom and dad would. My mom would absolutely have been like, "Oh yeah, that's a podcast." Not even questioned.
So a
100%.
couple quick notes about this. These models were trained on large data sets of speech data and fine-tuned on high-quality dialogue samples to capture realistic speaker interactions. So like the training data was pretty good going into this. So they're going to keep working on this. They want to improve fluency, acoustic quality, and adding more fine-grained controls and combine these advancements with video. So that's where we're going.
Yeah.
Imagine a video behind this, and if video is believable.
What's that face mapping thing that Starfield does, or whatever that?
well, there's a lot of tech out there that does that.
Is it
NVIDIA
Unreal?
has a
Is it
version
Unreal?
of it.
Is it Unreal Engine that's doing that face mapping?
You
to
can do
live
it.
chat
You can
thing?
do it. Unreal Engine has a version of that. Yeah. NVIDIA has their own version of it. The one that you're talking about was Starfield, and so that uses the Lumber engine from Amazon, which is an offshoot from the Crytek engine, CryEngine. So yeah, there's a couple different ones out there that'll do it.
So anyway, I thought it was interesting, and
That's
it's one of those
crazy.
things like the crazy advances in AI are crazy, yo.
Nothing's real anymore.
Well, and the
Trust
thing
nothing.
the last thing I'll say about it is what makes this more convincing is the fact that they are new voices. If
Yeah.
if it was trying to copy someone that you know or you listen to a lot, it'd be a lot easier to pick it out. But the fact that it's a voice you don't recognize makes it a lot easier to swallow, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's a hard thing. How does an AI create anything new? Right? Like it's using something. But
It's all based off training data, right? So
Averaging
next
a-
generation AI is like, what's the best, most highly probabilistic word that I should say? That audio is probably something along. I mean, I'm guessing at this point, but it's probably something along the lines of like, what's the most likely frequency that's going to happen to produce words in context? And
right.
Averaging 1,000 different voices or something.
yep,
yeah, like those pictures where they take like thousands of pictures of people from a certain country and they moosh them all together and you say this is what the average person from Norway looks like, or this is according to 10,000 pictures of people from Norway. All right, speaking of NVIDIA, it's happening. It's finally happening.
What is Tony?
Oh baby, NVIDIA is planning on getting in the ARM-based CPU market for computers and consumers.
Oh, okay. All we need now, I'm getting excited, is Valve to create a translation layer for x86 Linux
Slow down
to
now.
ARM, and then we'd have an NVIDIA-powered Steam Deck.
Could you imagine how great that would be?
it'd be so
man,
great.
I am losing it right now, Tony.
I can tell. You don't sound like AI at all. It basically they are teaming up with MediaTek, but they're also doing their own as well. So I think what's going to happen is they'll have MediaTek stuff first, and then after a generation or two of MediaTek stuff, they'll probably break into their own ARM cores. Now they already have their own ARM cores, but they're specifically designed for enterprise environment stuff for data centers and things like that.
They don't want to iterate on the on the
And
Shield architecture. That was
the-
NVIDIA Shield and Nintendo Switch.
Well, they already do, because the Switch 2 is probably using one of the latest, and by one of the latest, I mean I think it's already 2 years old, but NVIDIA SoCs that has their ARM architecture and their GPU architecture. But for whatever reason, they have said they're teaming with MediaTek at first. But
Weird.
yeah, it's I'm excited. So should be within 2025 or 2026. Actually, specifically, consumers should have options for this in September of 2025, it says. with the collaboration with MediaTek.
So could we
Steam
see
Deck
some of-
2?
I heard consumers in there. Does that mean we might see this at CES?
No, not that early.
Probably not.
Nothing there, you think?
But who knows?
if it's coming out September
knows?
of 2025?
It's possible, but it's not probable, I'll say. But yeah, so
Speaking of CES, we're going to be at CES.
yeah.
Super excited.
But yeah, that's kind of the whole story. Just they're officially throwing their hat in the ring, and it's not just a rumor anymore. And I'm very excited to see what they're able to do. And I really hope that this continues to light a fire under Windows to increase the Windows ARM capability. And
The arms race.
I get that, Owen. That was a good one.
Oh my
Well,
goodness, that was so funny.
They got to do a better job than they have done so far because it kind
They
of
have not-
blows. It's better
not
than it
give up.
was,
I was
but
going to
it,
say
it
they haven't
blows.
done a terrible job with
But
this
the-
latest iteration for the Qualcomm stuff.
Yeah, the fact though that
But there's
a lot of games
room.
just don't work. That's
Yeah.
that's bad.
I was going to say there's a
Very
lot of
bad.
room for improvement, especially in the gaming sector.
Yeah.
In your productions, your not production, but what do you call it? Productivity stuff all seems to work pretty well, but the gaming does not.
Would you trust Valve or Windows or Microsoft to make it work?
Valve, 100%.
Yeah, me too. Which is insane because these games are
too.
written for Windows.
I know.
Like, what are you doing, Microsoft?
Well, there's a speaking of which, there's a guy on YouTube, and now I can't remember his name. He's the one that frustrates you so much with his Twitter account, Jaron.
Oh, the Fox?
Yeah, the Fox. He's been doing a bunch of comparisons of gaming on the latest AMD AI 370 chips and the AI 360 chips, and he's been comparing Bazite to Windows, and Bazite always, in almost every aspect, has at least a 10% improvement in how the game runs
It's not
versus
surprising.
Windows native on the SoC.
Yeah.
And those are x86 chips. So it's Windows, Windows is written for that
Yeah,
chip.
the only thing that's saving Windows right now is anti-cheat
Yeah.
because companies don't want to support Linux anti-cheat because there's a lot of ways for people to cheat on Linux.
Yep.
So,
All right, moving along. Let's talk about. Oh, never mind. I was going to say, Jaron, what? You don't have anything though. Let's talk about Hyperloop.
Oh, Hyperloop lives still. We all
Why?
thought, that's the question, Tony. I don't know that this article doesn't say why, but the fact that it lives on is pretty neat. They're still working on it. It was a Elon Musk brain idea, and they started doing it, and it never really got anywhere. The idea was that it would launch stuff traveling 750 miles per hour in a vacuum, people, cargo, all across the United States. Fizzled out. Elon Musk called it the fifth mode of transportation, but
What a dumb thing to say.
But this company in Switzerland decided that it was going to keep it alive, but they did it on a 1/12 scale model in Switzerland. So, but they're using it to continue
is this a transportation system for ants?
So here's the thing: what if instead of spending billions of dollars learning how to do this, you did it at a scale model and then scaled it up? What if you did that? That'd be
That
smart.
sounds good.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. But the hype in Hyperloop made them jump straight into trying to run this thing at scale. And that it didn't work. There was way too many things that came up between the keeping a vacuum, the danger of having high, tubes with vacuum running across the country that could rupture or whatever. Like there's just so many things. Anyway, so this track is about 412 feet. It's a 125.6 meters. Luckily, they converted that for us.
Sounds like
And
just like a train set, like model train set, basically.
Yeah, but 412
yeah.
feet's pretty far. Anyway. And 40 centimeters, so 15 and a half inch tube. So 1/12. But they're trying to keep the idea alive and keep the the dream going. It's called the project's called Limitless, and you'd think that's there's a cool plan where
That's
it's,
a
but
pill.
here's I know, man, what a good movie and a good show. Anyway,
Agreed.
Dead Before Its Time. Anyway, that stands for Linear Induction Motor Drive for Traction and Levitation in Sustainable Hyperloop Systems.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, that was long. I thought I was going to get the burnt halfway through.
I'm surprised you didn't.
Me too. I'd do it right now.
My brain was really having
That's
an
the
issue
difference
with the
between you and
fact
me.
that those acronyms don't line up. There's
Yeah, that
no
doesn't line up
H.
at all.
There's no H in Limitless. Limits. Anyway.
Limit less.
Maybe it's Swedish. I don't know.
The
Maybe,
H
maybe in Swiss it's different. They say it different. But they're really working on energy consumption and acceleration. They're trying to control some of those factors and braking. So who knows? Maybe it will be a way to move cargo in the future at high speed. Can you imagine if shipping was no longer reliant on planes, like for the overnight stuff?
Yeah,
Wow.
but man, the investment in an infrastructure for this to make it viable, even across one state, let alone state to state,
Yeah.
you got to have a commitment, a rock solid commitment, even if budget goes over. to
I would
just
have to assume
finish it.
I would have to assume that, I mean, give it to NASA and Boeing. They'll do it. They got Starliner after $14 billion. So
They'll go over budget for you.
yeah, they'll do it. They'll do it.
They'll
I
get it
would
done
say-
eventually, and then it'll fail.
Yeah, and then it'll catastrophically fail with some. So I would assume that, I don't know people transport, but cargo transport, and there would most definitely have to be underground, right, to save on having to do infrastructure.
Well, yeah, but the problem with underground means you have to dig it. Whereas
but then
putting it
it's
up
safer.
on pylons, you
It's-
just
But you remove all the safety concerns with having it be underground from
from what?
ne'er-do-wells,
How is it?
youths, graffiti artists.
Have you ever heard of a shovel?
Do you know what the TTP would be for a Hyperloop tunnel?
The
Not
TTP?
long. Time to penis would be super short, Tony.
I'm to penis. I'm watching that show again. It's my favorite.
That's a good show.
Anyway, so they're
Cool.
good.
Well, that's interesting.
Hyperloop sort of lives on in Swiss.
Maybe we'll see
Switzerland
more of it
with the Swedes.
later.
Yeah.
Let's see. What is Supersite for drowns? What's a drown?
This is Lando's story.
This is Lando's.
Super Super.
Oh,
drones.
Oh,
Drones. I
drones.
mistyped. I
Okay.
mistyped. I'm like, drown. What is he talking about?
I was-
OWNS does say owns, and if you put a dir in front
I
of
just
it,
thought
drones.
I have the story open. Hold on.
I
it's
thought
coming.
maybe it said. I thought maybe it was supposed to say clowns. Supersite for clowns. I'm like,
No,
why
it's
would
for
we want to
drones.
empower
I
clowns?
misspelled.
The future
I
is now.
apologize. I was looking. So my keyword here was drones. I'm like, when Tony talks about drones, I know it's my story. But you talk about drowns, I'm like, what the crap? Are we playing Minecraft all of a sudden? What's happening?
Yeah. I went there too.
You guys know how cameras work, right? Like light's super important, and the lower light levels you get, like the harder it is to get good eyesight, right? And or good camera sight. Anyway, I thought this was super interesting. Researchers have taken a cue from cat eyes and their vertical slits to help improve drone
What's
vision
the,
systems.
What's the
So
sign
you're using
language
a-
for vertical slits again? Let me see that. Okay,
Also gills.
nailed it.
I don't. I'm giving extra special treats for the YouTube listeners today. That's
I
all.
hope the YouTube people. If you're not watching this on YouTube, you're missing out.
Yeah, you should
No,
find
they're
this.
not. They're
the
probably
timestamp's 40
better
minutes
off.
and 58 seconds, so you can find it.
Jeremy, your lack of
So
faith
yeah,
is
so they're using
disturbing.
inspired by cat eyes. They're going to use slit-like aperture and reflective layers to enhance the visibility of in varied lighting conditions on drones, right? So it helps improve object detection and recognition for autonomous systems like drones and self-driving cars. So pretty cool stuff. And the fact that it took.
Yeah,
Oh,
why
I-
do vertical slits help?
Yeah, why is that not
That's
now?
a good
Like,
question.
don't
This
they
is a
mostly-
two-week-old
use
story,
LiDAR?
guys.
Here's the thing:
Where's-
vertical slits don't
where's
help. Vertical slits
vertical-
help to cut down the light for the cat, because if you watch a cat in the daylight, its slits are super tiny, and if
Yeah.
you watch a cat at night, its eyes are super wide. The pupils, they're big.
So it
big,
helps
giant
filter
circles.
unnecessary light and focuses on key object. It also uses a special reflective layer similar to the one found in cat's eyes that improves visibility of low eye conditions. So it's not just the vertical slit; it's also
Yeah,
a
it's
reflective
the-
layer
That
cats
reflective
have.
layer amplifies the light. I see.
Does the
Probably-
vertical slit do anything at all?
Yeah,
I
it's more
don't
for,
know.
it's more
Ask
for,
a cat.
I'm telling you, it's more for too much
ask
light
a-
than it
That's
is.
a cat, Jaren, about the vertical slit.
We're done now. We're done, Tony. Press the button. We're moving on.
Think you know what I'm talking about. Cat
We're
eyes.
moving on.
Okay.
It's a family-friendly show, and Owen just took it to places we shouldn't go.
I did not. Talking about reflective.
You were
light.
thinking
get
it, my friend.
Oh, there he is. Jaron got it. He had to look it up. Urban
You
Dictionary.
Google it? Please tell me
Urban-
you Googled it.
I did
Urban
not.
Dictionary. Urban Dictionary. Cat vertical slit. I don't know.
Close, 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 close. Actually, he's like, not in front of my boss.
Don't do it.
Oh, that was
at a
worth the whole
work
stupid
computer.
story. The story seemed cooler much 3 weeks ago when I put it on the show notes.
All right, here's one that's it's been way too long in the making, and it's finally happened. The vindication is real, and I can taste it. The FDA is finally set to ban a controversial ingredient in popular decongestant. Why is it controversial, you might ask? Well, first of all, what is it? It is phenylephrine. And why
The
is
fake Sudafed.
phenylephrine
This is the fake Sudafed?
controversial? It's not controversial
fake.
because it's bad for you. It's controversial because it doesn't do anything.
It works.
No.
But at the dose you need it to work at, it'll kill you.
Well,
You won't have a cold
You
anymore.
won't
Yeah,
have to
you
worry
won't be
about a
sick.
cold. Yeah.
so the biggest problem that this actually has is it doesn't make it past the filters in your body to actually get to the nasal passages. It's mostly broken down in your gut.
Womp womp.
And so you get no medicine. Whether or not it's actually effective at nasal decongestion is a moot point because of how fast it breaks down in your stomach. And so this is 100 whoa, Owen, you're putting on your
This-
tinfoil hat. What?
This
Can you
so
snort
when
it?
When Sudafed went behind the counter because they were making meth with it, this was Big Pharma's way of still selling NyQuil and every cold medicine out there without having to have an without having to go up to the pharmacy so they could still sell it OTC.
That's exactly what it was.
There's no tinfoil
needed.
hat about that. It makes
I just felt
perfect
like doing
business sense.
Okay. Sorry. What I meant to do is put on my evil king ruler crown, the
there
one
you
that's
go.
slightly turned with like
yeah,
a
that's
maniacal. Like what's the guy that
So that's
from
this one,
Lord of
not
the
this
Rings, Jaren, the guy that bites the tomato, that guy.
Oh, what's his name? I suddenly can't remember his name.
Vorm.
No. Come on, Jaron.
Oh,
You call yourself a fan?
Anyway,
you put me
that
on
guy.
spot.
That guy, the way he bites that tomato, ugh, it's so gross.
He's the
Anyway.
steward
can't
of
think of any names.
He's
Oh,
the
yes.
steward of Gondor. Come on, Jaron, look it up.
What's Denethor?
Oh my gosh, we got there. That was painful.
There you go.
Denethor. That's who I meant to, instead of tinfoil hat, I meant to put on the crown of Denethor
Yeah.
and talk about Big Pharma.
There you go.
I am so disappointed in myself.
You should
I am
be.
too.
Yeah, we all are,
Aw.
Jaron, actually.
And to think, I took the day off for this.
I tried,
Yeah.
guys.
You get one of those.
Feels good.
All right, so yeah, basically, they are going to allow it to stay in nasal sprays because it
That's
goes
effective
right into where
directly
it
on the
needs to go.
tissue.
So I was right. You can snort it.
Yeah, but as far
You
as
should snort it.
taking it orally, they're gonna
Yeah.
start. They're gonna start telling you can't. Telling the companies that they can't. It's useless. FDA is
more,
not
yeah.
approving it anymore. So, and this is
I
just
love that.
so much vindication because for
Oh.
years I have said this does not work.
Yeah.
Why are they selling this? And anyone that asks me about a cold medicine, I'll be like, do not buy this for cold or allergies. Go ask the pharmacist for real Sudafed, and you're gonna have a
I've-
much better time.
Never actually tried real Sudafed before.
Oh my gosh.
What is a
missing out.
game
It's so
changer.
Oh,
good.
dude.
What does it
Yep.
do?
It
It's
actually solves
what
the
it's
nasal
supposed to.
congestion.
It works.
It
Yeah.
works. It does what it says on the tin.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
The
And
worst
it-
part is if you take what is it, phenylephrine? If you take phenylephrine, you can't take Sudafed because there's an interaction, and it will cause you to bad things.
And you say you can make meth with it, right?
yeah, they
With
you
real
have to.
Sudafed.
Yeah, with
You,
real
yeah, you have
Sudafed.
to when you go to get it from the pharmacy, you have to give them
Interesting.
your driver's license.
Well, and
'cause
the
they
great
track
thing
it.
about Sudafed is the full name for it is, I think, is pseudoephedrine.
Sudafed.
Pseudoephedrine, and it's been around for so long that there's a generic version at any store you go to. So
Yep.
you can get like a 2 week supply for like $6. You know,
And
if
you just
have a cold.
talk to the pharmacy. You
Just
don't
go to
need,
the pharmacy. Say, I
You-
need
you
some
don't-
Sudafed.
That's
Yep.
it? You don't have
Yeah,
to get a doctor's
no
note or
prescription.
anything?
No, you hand them your driver's license. They mark it down so that the government knows that you bought this much Sudafed on this day.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they can only sell you a certain amount typically.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Breaking
back
Bad
in the day,
Breaking Bad. We learned that they call that smurfing when they go and buy a pack over like a long period of time to save
just
up enough to
hoard
make
it,
meth.
yeah.
Guys, I need to watch Breaking Bad. I've never seen
It's
it.
such a
It's
great
good
show.
dude.
yeah, back in the day, they would go and buy cases of it, however much a store would sell them, and then they'd open the pills and break them down.
Yep.
Just like they show you in Breaking Bad.
Then what's
yeah.
that? Is it they need something like the red mercury or red something anyway?
I don't remember.
Breaking
But
Bad. Go
anyway,
watch it. Super
there you-
I think
informative.
they used ether,
Super informative.
but I'm not entirely certain.
So there you go. It's finally gonna get out of your
Wonder what's gonna happen.
get out of the
Like,
the
They're
drugstore
gonna have
aisles.
they're gonna have to pull that. You think they're just gonna let it go? Is there a date when it goes into effect, or they have to pull everything off the shelf? Like
There was a.
Does it work
What
for
is-
coughing too?
what is Tylenol?
Well,
No, it does because it stops the drainage, right?
Exactly.
So,
Owen's
Yeah.
got it. Yep.
but
So-
what are they gonna put in there instead as a decongestant? Like
We'll have to find
that's
something
their
else.
that's their bread and butter, like nasal decongestant and cough suppressant. Oh
Yep.
man.
Guys, I really want to get sick now. I want to try Sudafed.
You can get some of the other drugs with
Not
real
worth it.
Sudafed put in it. You just have to get that from behind the counter
Also
as well. You
from
can
behind
get
the
Mucinex DM. You can get those
Yeah.
Allegra D, whatever.
Really?
Allegra D
Yeah, yeah.
has Sudafed smashed
Jaron,
into
you
it.
Guys,
This
I've
is-
been getting sick incorrectly my entire
Yeah,
life.
you have not been treating your symptoms.
Sounds like it.
Well, yeah.
But I'll tell you, I don't go
Your,
get the
your,
dual.
your parents
I don't
did
go
not
get the. I don't
deal
get
with
the
you
dual
correctly
drugs.
on that.
No,
I'll
they
take
don't
a
believe
full
in
dose
doctors.
I take a full dose of Mucinex and I'll take a full dose of Sudafed instead of getting the dual pill. It does a lesser dose of both.
Correct. All right, and last but not least, as we wrap this up, I wanted to give a kind of early review for the Thermoworks RFX probes. So I got some in the mail.
Oh, these are for your meat smoking
so nice.
endeavors.
For my meat smoking.
Ooh, I saw these.
And Thermoworks is the premier name in temperature stuff for cooking, or whatever you need to measure the temperature of things for. They're very, very, very good digital temperature readers. And they finally came out with a competitor to something like the Meter, which is another wireless thermometer probe you can stick in your thing in your roast or whatever. There's Squinky just showed it on his screen. The box.
Don't they sell multiple like probes though? Like,
Yeah, so
it
so
connects to
you,
a
you
hub
buy
or
a gate,
something?
you buy a couple of probes and the gateway, and you can buy the gateway and a probe together for I want to say it's like $85 somewhere around there, and then you can buy additional probes to add to it, and you can have a ridiculous amount of probes connected to a gateway. I want to say it's something like over 100. So
That sounds right.
if you wanted to use it in a like professional
big old long
kind of way,
smoker.
if you run a smoke shop, a smoked meat shop or something like that, you can do it with this kind of thing. 50 plus probes per gateway. So I have smoked a turkey with it. I smoked a brisket, and I did a tri-tip using these probes.
Oh, I love tri-tip.
And here's the thing. They work really well. They do a fantastic job of reading the temperature and maintaining a connection. The gateway provides an internet connection or connection to the internet as well, so you can read it from anywhere you have your smartphone in the app. You don't have to be at your house on a Bluetooth or anything like that. However, I don't know if it's just mine or if it's more than just my set. The battery is poopy dookie.
On the probes.
On the probes. So they advertise on their website the battery should last 50 hours per charge, and they give you the little cradle for you to charge in, and it's only supposed to be a 10-minute charge for 50 hours. Problem is, I have never got mine to last more than 10 or 12 hours per charge.
Which sucks if you've got a
That doesn't work for a
big
brisket.
piece. Yeah, because that's
You
like
know?
a what, 15 hours, 16 hours.
It's a minimum of a 12-hour cook, but I want to be able to keep it in there while I do a hot
Rest it
hold
and-
on the
right.
meat and rest it and stuff like that. So I mean, I'll be honest, sometimes I need 26 hours of temperature readings, to do some of these briskets that I like to do a really low and slow cook on.
So that means you got to get a backup set and be charging that and swap them out, or what? Send them a terse letter?
No, it means I emailed the company and they actually said, here, I'll read you what they said.
Yeah, you actually
So
did.
I haven't actually used mine yet, Tom.
Yeah, I got mine a lot earlier than you because I bought it within an hour of it going live. I was super excited to see this. So here's what they said. Sorry to hear you're experiencing this issue with your RFX meat probe, and I'm happy to help. This is something we are working on and have released a new version of the Thermoworks app to improve battery performance of both the RFX gateway and the wireless RFX meat probes. If you haven't already done so, make sure the Thermoworks app is updated. I'm 99% sure that it did that already, but I'll double check. It says next we may need to update the RFX gateway. So basically they say, firmware
Do
update for
the
your
firmware.
gateway and
Firmware
your
and
probes.
Mm-hmm.
And unless they've updated it within the last 2 weeks, which maybe they have, I'm on the latest already. So I will have to double check and make sure I'm fully updated and try it again. And the nice thing about it is it's easy to test because I just take the probe out, hook it up, and leave it on the counter, and I can just
Nice.
see how long it takes before the battery dies. But we'll see. So this isn't a full review. This is a pending review notice, where if the battery situation is fixed, these are going to be 100% recommends, because as far as functionality, they're freaking awesome. But if I can't resolve this battery life issue, then I'm going to have to not recommend them. So I will let you know next week how that goes. And I really hope they're able to fix it.
Me too.
I was wrong on the price, by the way. They're a little more pricey than that. A gateway and probe starter kit is a $160 to get going, and each additional probe after that is $89. But they do sell a 1, a 2, or a 4 probe pack with the gateway. So a 2 probe pack, which was what I got, was $239.
Is there
2 probes and a
competitors in this
gateway.
space? Like, are these guys top of the top, or
There's
is
there's
there-
several competitors. You have Meter.
Yeah,
Ink
I've been
Bird,
using meters since they were on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
You like them?
Yeah, they do fine. They have a tough time with the way that I set up the base to keep the probes talking to the base and the base talking to my internet, so I can see it on my app.
I can imagine
But-
that because the heat and the closing.
Well,
your
you
lid
got the
on your
heat,
stuff
you've got the
and-
fact that you're in a smoker, so you're shooting it through metal.
Yep.
Yep.
So
And so-
you've got that aspect, but they do okay. I'm assuming that this stuff.
That's
is
what
gonna
this
be
is supposed to
better.
fix. Yes, the
Yeah.
RFX doesn't use Bluetooth to go from the probe to the gateway. It uses a
Yeah.
long range RF frequency,
Oh, okay.
their own.
And I believe Meter uses Bluetooth to go from the probe to the
To the block.
to the base.
Yeah,
I see.
and this is even their
And-
own radio.
So they're saying they
frequency.
go to
they're
lower
patent pending it.
frequency. They go to a low frequency to try and get through that metal better
Yep.
than I see.
Yep. And that's the thing is, in the 3 cooks I did, I never had a single connection issue. They were great.
Nice.
And on top of that, these probes are much thinner than the probes the Meter uses.
Yep.
So there's that as well.
Yeah, and the latest version of the meter, I think, supports this as same as the RFX probes, but you can do up to 1,000 degrees.
Wow.
On the probe itself, like it
That's
will
cooking 1,000 degrees.
it will maintain. So you want
Well, if you're searing a steak on a really hot flat top,
exactly. Most of them top out at 500 degrees, and they say don't do it over that. But if you're on a super hot flat top, you can go over 500 degrees without
Easy.
too much problem. Yeah, and you can deep fry them too. You stick them in if you want to deep fry your turkey.
Oh, that's rad.
Stick
Okay,
it in there, deep fry your turkey. If you want to deep fry chicken, same deal. So yeah, they're super cool. They got to fix this battery issue, and if they do, man, these are going to be the ones to beat. So I'll report back next week. We'll see how it goes.
Thanks, Tony.
All right. Yep, you bet. That is the end of today's show. But before we go, big shout out to our awesome Patreon backers. Patreon.com/HelpDeskArcade. And if you back us on Patreon, you get the things that Lando's about to talk about.
You get all kinds of awesome stuff, guys. Like, it's a freaking great deal. For the cost of an ice cream cone at McDonald's, $1. The old dollar menu. We have a dollar menu still, guys. No inflation for the help desk. No inflation for the arcade. $1. For $1, you get access to the super secret Discord channel. You get access to a super secret Patreon-only subscriber feed, which gives you both shows early. The help desk 1 day early, the arcade game show 2 days early, plus in between, balloons. Plus the in between show, which is awesome. We love the in between show. We talk about all kinds of spicy things there, fun things, just regular stories, things we know we can't say in the regular show. This in between show is awesome. And if you pay $6 or more, you can have Jared say whatever you want. Sometimes Owen. It's great.
Sometimes Owen.
All right, there you go. That's our Patreon perks. Jaron has the list of our $6.
Oh, hold
tier
on,
higher.
and there's more.
Oh.
If you want, you can. We're gonna send out special Christmas presents today. Nope, this year.
It doesn't work on him. He's Windows 11.
So yeah, put your email in Patreon, or not your email, your physical address in Patreon, and we will send you a special Christmas gift this year.
I promise that email's going out soon.
Oh,
All
Owen
right.
hasn't done it yet.
Big
Jaron.
shout out and thank you to our extra special tier. They're awesome. David Broshinsky, Aaron Faulkner, Connor Keesaw. They said market price. What market are you shopping at? Thank you also to unsubscribe from Landrone's Gift.
He's new. That one's awesome. You are the best dude. I don't care if I send you a Christmas present or not. If you don't want it, don't put your address in Patreon. I don't care.
Yeah,
You subscribe to
simple
we
as that.
love you. Thank you.
Jason
You're the best.
Edmund. Cuando escucho esta canción, mi corazón quiere cantar así. Bidi bidi bom bom.
I did not do that good while you were out, Jared. I'm just going to say that.
He did
I'm
not.
all cards on the table.
I don't want to say that he butchered it, but he butchered it.
He butchered it.
It was like a zombie movie, right? Like you can tell I'm not a meat worker, but like you're cutting stuff up. So
Fingers crossed, Lambo's internet cuts out. That's rude.
Oh, I'm such a
Harsh.
theme. I don't like it.
hold on.
You know who else is a Patreon? My mom, Be the 8-year-old, Michael Shane, Tony the Home Theater Geek, Travis Johnson, Buy Geekshow Arcade Top Desk stickers at Pieman Graphics on Etsy. All proceeds go to Lee George K's medical bills. Jeremy, No Name No Color, Keslow, Eric Steinman, Eric Cruz, The In-Between Rating +7, Matt Nelson, DP, Wesley, Adam, Stuart Lloyd. The problem with society is meatballs is tasty, and Game Pass update +100. Thank you.
Whoa.
Yep.
Look at that.
Telling you.
All right. Thank you so much, Patreon backers. You are awesome. We appreciate everyone's support and everyone's downloads and sharing the good word of Geek Show Help Desk and Geek Show Arcade, Geek Show in general, with your friends. We're done for today, though. So we'll see you in Arcade or the In-Between or the next episode of Help Desk. Until then, though, Lando, take us out.
You know, my favorite new end user activity is to subscribe to our Patreon sub just to tell us you don't want a Christmas present. Be an end user.